What's up? Don't even know where to start. All right, let's do this. We are in chop mode, so nothing's happening. We're stuck in orb for literally everything. I posted some screenshots yesterday. The thing that's bothering me the most outside of the chop is even if you get in the money contracts, like I showed you here, if you got the 7760 puts yesterday and you bought them at open, you paid roughly $1,200 for them. And you came out with, you paid $2,000 for them and you came out with $2,800. So you had $800 profit. And that contract dropped to $400 and then finally expired in the money at $1,190. So the thing that bothers me the most isn't that we're getting chopped up, is that even if I get the in the money contracts, they go to zero or I lose money on them. So SPX, unless we see a big apex print, which George has done a really good job of. Yesterday he had a pretty banger trade on 7550s and a couple other MOC lottos, 7550s, 7750s. This ended up working out really nicely. It went from like 480. There was drawdown, went as low as like 360, and then 800 is when I took profit and just kind of left it alone. So until I see an apex print, I have zero interest in playing SPX because we're getting chopped up. And it's not just you; it's literally everyone. Everyone's getting chopped out. Nothing's happening. No movement anywhere. I really like Micron. I'm gonna probably take some Micron calls or puts. I like this accumulation pattern. You're bonking around a displacement, go up and down. This is like your magnetic field to do whatever. And then finally, it'll do a double tap and either go up or double tap and bonk down. So let's see what happens. We're in the middle of two ranges. You have your upper ADR up here, lower ADR right here. You're smack dab in the middle. It's crazy how this stuff works. But, we are here. I'm really liking how SPX is shaping up, Micron is shaping up as a whole. But I want to give it some time to better understand what it wants to do. So I'm going to watch for 15 minutes and then maybe take a couple plays. But there's always going to be a second play or second or third play later in the day. So do not fear if you miss the first one or you can get the fill. There's always going to be a second and third entry. So just be mindful of that. We're in an abundance mindset. There's plenty of other opportunities out there outside of SPX. And even if you want to play the SPX, you can play it whenever we get an apex sprint. So Micron is top watch for me. As long as 909 holds, you're likely coming back to the top of this ADR. Maybe you reject at 940, but I'm liking how this is shaping up overall. So I'm liking this. If it doesn't close above this for whatever reason and it starts closing below 909, I'm going to get some 880 puts for tomorrow and looking to get like 100% on those and scaling out. So Micron is top watch. USO, I got some puts on this. I know it's crazy, but the contrarian move there was not to get calls, but to get puts. They're going to be in the profit. I got the 120 piece for tomorrow. I don't know what the ROI is on that one just yet, but even if it's up like 20, 30, 50%, take the win, move on. Some of you got here, I got in here, but it is close to being in the money. That'll be a nice move. So congrats if anyone took those puts with me, and we'll see where that goes. ONDS, got some earnings play on this. Did not go so well. Luckily, I'm only at $100 at this point in time, but if it runs, it runs. If it doesn't, oh well. Have zero interest in shorting it at this point in time because you're at that support level. And if it holds here, you're likely going to go back up. So ONDS, if you took that, apologies on the L, but luckily we size a lot lower than the usual plays. Google calls will be green at open. I got the 350 calls around here. I already made 20% on those. If anyone wants to see the screenshot, there you go. 25%. Didn't scale out of any of them. Still have 10 contracts. I'm going to sell a lot of them, maybe 8 out of 10 at open. I'm not looking for a 100% move there either. I'm just looking for 20, 30, 40% moving on. But I do think it's going to run tomorrow into 347 is kind of the target that I got there. And that'll take out this high, at least from the last couple of days. So Google is a top watch for me. Amazon is a top watch for me as well. And on the call side, I'm liking how this is shaping up. You're defending this area. Likely will go up. I'm going to try Meta once again. I don't know why they held it here. I wish they didn't. I wish they would just let it go. But as long as 580 holds on Meta, I think you're going to come back up and do this huge cup and handle towards 600. So let's see what happens there. Google we went over, Amazon we went over, Micron we went over, SPX and SPY and QQQ I'll go over shortly. But I do like how Dell is shaping up. It's breaking out. So let's see what happens there. If it comes back and does the gap fill, I'll get some calls. Intel already got some calls on this. They already ran like, I think it's like 28%. There it is. Again, didn't sell any of them, but I want to see what happens here. Had a double top. This was my worry. Didn't break through it. Now came back down. Doing this bonking around in this displacement. If this holds, I might either roll the 105 calls to next week or maybe 2 weeks out. But as long as this area holds, I'm just going to keep it and just see where that goes, because I'm more interested in the upside here for 105 on Intel. EWY also looks pretty good to me. Broke out of this head and shoulder pattern. I'm looking at this on the daily. You have now an inverse head and shoulder. So boom, boom, boom. Broke out of this one at least, this downtrend, right? So you can kind of see that from here. Downtrend, 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 gapped up. Now it's going to do this and probably go up. So that's the top watch for me. And same with Koru. Koru also did the same thing. It just had this downtrend, continuous downtrend. Maybe fill this gap here and kind of go back up. So I might get some calls on these. They're not the most liquid chains, but when they do run, they run like 300, 400%. So let's see if we can kind of replicate that. My only concern right now is if it doesn't close above this high of 2024, then I have zero interest in buying calls on this. So that's what I see on the Korean market. And overall, I think TSM is also catching some bids. So I'm interested in TSM calls. And if that goes, EWT will go as well. This is a Taiwan ETF. And this is clearly making all-time highs. Some of the financial names are doing pretty well. JPM 366. This is exactly what I was saying. I got some 366 calls on this a couple days ago. They're a bit red because I overpaid for them, but I want to see if I get a second entry here. If I do, then I think you're likely squeezing to 371 pretty quickly. Bank of America, we went over this yesterday. Literally the same chart. Literally the exact same chart. So I'm interested in playing calls on those as long as we get a retest of a lower level, and we'll see where that ends up. Palantir, I drew this on the 4 hour, so I think we're going to bonk around a little bit. As long as this area holds, calls are probably going to work out. And your target is 182 and then 194 above that. So I'm going to start a position for the 200 calls for the end of September. And I don't need them to be in the money to be profitable. I just need to see if this clears above 182 for me to take the win. And my stop loss is not going to be percentage based. It's going to be a close below 170 on both the 4 hour and 15 minutes because it's a slightly longer dated swing. So I'll post those when I see them, but overall, I'm liking how Palantir is shaping up, and it's held 170 for the last couple of days. And I like this chart the best out of everything else except for Micron. Micron also looks pretty good to me. SPY, I hate this. I don't know why we get chopped up, but it is what it is. You have a quadruple top, 1, 2, 3, and now 4. If we can't close above 774.64 and hold above it for more than 5 minutes, you're coming back all the way back down to the put wall, which is 770, and maybe third time's the charm, but this is now day number 7 of getting chopped out. So if we don't close above this, no calls on SPX, unless George says there's an apex print. If it does go through for whatever reason, and it does a double tap at 774.64, that's your ideal call entry. So if I were you, and I'm playing SPX, I'll put these side by side so you can see it. It's a bit clearer to see it on SPY versus SPX for whatever reason. So that's a top watch for me. And then QQQ, I think, and there I go thinking again, this is going to break towards 727. I think it wants to run. I really do. I just don't know if we get that today or tomorrow, but it's setting up, in theory, this is all setting up higher highs and higher lows. It doesn't seem like it, I know, which is why I have 0 interest in shorting. But, this is setting up higher lows at the very least. And this flag pattern will eventually break either to the upside or downside. I don't know which way it's yet. I just know based on this chart, you're likely going to go tag 727. If not today, then tomorrow. And I think I shared this thesis that I had late last week. But, I think we would bottom out around Wednesday is what I said. And that's exactly what we got. And now if this area holds, you're likely going to run on all the indices and ETFs. So let's see where we get there. But that's what I'm looking at on QQQ and SPY. IWM, you're at the top of the annual expected move. So the 300 was your top move for the year. We are now above it. So it's riskier to take calls at this point in time, but I do think it works. IWM was pumping from like 10:30 yesterday all the way till close. And this is a pretty clean read, and the contracts are very cheap. So you can get like 40 contracts with the 3 or 4 calls for like $40 instead of playing for one SPX contract. But I do think this pattern will repeat where they'll shake out retail, then reverse up, shake out retail, then reverse up. You're technically setting up higher highs and higher lows for IWM. So I have 0 interest in shorting. I'm just going to wait for a bottom and then get a call get a call when it bottoms out. Tesla, I don't know what the hell happened yesterday. I think it's going to run again. So I'm going to try it again once more. You don't have to tail me if you don't want to. But I just see a nice W pattern. It's wide as hell. So I think you're going to move up explosively this time around. But let's see what happens here. As long as 324.95 holds, you're looking at calls. If it doesn't hold, it's coming back all the way down to this high at 315. So maybe the 320 puts will pay for tomorrow if you're interested in shorting it. But I'd rather just wait for a bottom out and then just get calls on Tesla. So that's what I see on all the indices, ETFs, Micron, Amazon. Apple calls actually might work. It's already starting to move here pre-market. The thing I don't like about the Apple chart is this. You're right in the middle of that displacement. It'll do a double tap here. Once it does, and if it holds, get some calls. If it doesn't, then there's really no point. And NVIDIA calls have been coming in. You're at a double top here. I have zero interest in buying calls on NVIDIA. But if it comes back down and holds this area at 222, then maybe I'll get some calls because they are pretty cheap. And I did see some suspicious flow on gold calls from George, I believe. There we go. So Microsoft puts are coming in, gold calls are coming in. These are long dated, and IWM calls are coming in, silver calls are coming in. So maybe metals have a chance to run here. Let's go look at the gold chart really quickly. Metals probably have a chance to run here. You're setting up a nice base around 400 and 403. This accumulation I really like because I know the next move will be explosive. And I do think as long as you hold 401.95 on gold, you're likely coming to 407 tomorrow. That's my best guess. Maybe it takes a week, but tomorrow is kind of my best guess because you're likely just going to do this and then break out or break down. So I'm liking that. I'm liking silver, and we'll see where these end up, but it's the exact same chart here. My only worry with playing these metals is like you have a lot of gaps below, and I don't know if I want to chase it necessarily. But as long as this area holds and you are interested, your line in the sand is 401.96 on gold. If it doesn't hold, short it. If it does hold, get calls towards 407, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm looking at for the most part. Mostly interested in Micron, maybe some meta calls. SPX, I'm literally just going to wait for Apex sprints. So I have zero interest in playing it otherwise. And then we'll see where the rest of the week goes. But Google, stopwatch for me. Palantir, stopwatch for me. Micron, I'm going to play because it has the volume. Oh, and SpaceX. I took a long on this yesterday, or took some calls on this yesterday. Let me show you what I did there. SPCX. Okay. So this is what I ended up doing. Everyone is short SPCX. I'm like, I don't know why people are shorting it. So I got these at 225. I scaled out at 300. I sold most of them at, or sorry, half of them at 430, and then finally out most and into two runners at 635. So this is a banger trade. Now I'm looking at 150 calls for tomorrow. And my thesis here is you're going to come back down, test this displacement at 141. As soon as that holds and I see that setup, I'm going to take calls for the 150 strike because I think you're going to hit that tomorrow. If it doesn't hold for whatever reason, you're likely coming back to 130. So this has a lot more shares traded and has a wider range, and the volatility to me is really worth the risk and reward. So if I see the setup, I'll post it, but it is going to be a high risk at this point in time because we really got to get above 150 for more calls. But I do think as long as 140-ish holds, you're going to do a double tap and then finally go back up. And if it doesn't hold, you're coming back to 130. That's really how I see it. So I'm liking SpaceX. The top watches for me, and I'll post them in the channel so we can all see them outside of the, I already posted them, never mind. Micron calls, SpaceX calls, maybe Meta and Google. HP, Intel, and Dell, they're breaking out. So I want to see what they do and how they behave. They might bonk around here a little bit. If they do, I'm just going to wait for the setup because you're rejecting right now this displacement. If it comes back down, holds here at 481, I'll get some calls for Dell. HPE, literally the same story. They're above the displacement at this point in time. So your next target above HPE is going to be at 75, to be honest. I don't see any levels there, so this is going to be all-time highs. And in this case, what I would do is just draw a level at like 66, then 70, then 74, 77, etc. You're looking at like a measured move there of how much did we move from this low to the top of this one? 11%. So like 11% is how I would draw the levels above this. But I'm liking how this is breaking out. So HPE is another watch, but I just want to see if it does this gap fill, then I'll get some calls. If it doesn't, it keeps squeezing. I have zero interest in chasing it because I think there's going to be plenty of opportunities out there. Okay, market is open. Let's see what we get. I'm going to watch for 15 minutes as usual. And I just want to see what happens here more so than anything else. Let me just see what the USO call or puts are doing first and foremost. And USO, just watch for a level here. If it holds at 124, which it might be, then get some calls. If it doesn't, short the hell out of it. USO puts are up 20%. Not bad. I'm going to take the win. Actually, they're pretty cheap. I'm not going to take the win. Never mind. USO puts up 20% at here. DP if you want. Good job. Good job, said no one, because frickin' A. So let's see what Micron does. I already have some 1,000 calls for tomorrow. If they go, they go. If not, then whatever. Palantir's already moving. US is rejecting. SPX will do nothing, as usual. And we'll see where this ends up. I'm actually really curious. My best guess is we're going to be in an uptrend for today at the very least, maybe tomorrow. And then by OPEX, things will settle down and we can actually get some price action next week, hopefully. Wow, can't believe the US outputs worked. Huh, who would have thought? I just want to see what the hell Micron does in the first 15 here. And Meta, I think it's going to start pumping. Fuck. So I'm going to try to swear less. I know people don't like it, but my brain doesn't work that way. I want to see if we can get a retest on Meta before I take some calls, but I think it's just going to go. If that's going, then Tesla's going to go, most likely. Micron, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, buddy? I just want to see what happens here on the 15-minute. Pretty banger trade on Tesla yesterday. That's fun. Or not Tesla, on Micron yesterday. That's pretty cool. Got a 10x. What do I got here? ONDS calls. I got Microsoft calls for some reason. I'm just going to take these and call it a day. I have zero interest in waiting for this to do what it wants to do. Google calls. They were up there, red a little bit. I will probably get more. Amazon's probably dead. Intel's probably dead. Start taking profit on those. DJT got time, so not worried. Ondesk, goodbye. And Micron, what are you going to do? Let's see. My best guess is if this doesn't hold, then I think it's coming back to 890, 880 maybe. Man, these are kind of expensive. I don't know if it's worth the risk. Georgia's bullish for some reason. Okay, who else do I got to mute now? Gotta mute a couple people. Wow, they really said I'm going to close over 774. Fucking A, might just run actually. I have zero interest in chasing it up here. I'm just going to watch for 15 and see what it does. I kind of like Micron calls, but I want to wait a little bit. The 940s for tomorrow aren't bad, and neither are the 950s. God damn it. The 1,000 Micron calls for tomorrow aren't bad, like $1, but I'd rather get the 980s or the 950s or the 960s or something like that. I'm gonna watch for 15 minutes and see what it does. Of course, Tesla does the thing that I wanted to today, not yesterday. Why does it do that every single time? I want to watch 15 minutes anyway. I have 0 interest in chasing it. I'll get a second entry later down the line. But it did buy a lot of calls, so I really like that. Yep. Yep. If the turbo sent today, I'm gonna fucking freak out. I just don't want to chase it here. Like the 7800s are $400. Can we get there? Probably. Do I want to chase it? Probably not. Yeah, those Bream just jacked up. I'm gonna watch until 9:45 anyways. I have 0 interest in chasing things. What else do I like? RKLB calls up 60% out here. Wow, if they full send, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. This would be the funniest chop accumulation, and the full send on fucking Thursday would be the funniest thing ever. Oh, let me go see what CoreWeave's doing. Yep, there it goes. The 110s are in the money. Didn't even get an entry. Fucking A. Micron, I took some starters for the 1,000 at $1. If you want to take those. Oh, they're 120. I'm just gonna like 3 of these at $1. Sorry, 4 of these at $1. And then I'll scale out as I see fit. Or add to them as I see fit, rather. What did I say? CRWV 110Cs. Oh, you already posted them. Great, great. My only worry right now is like they'll send it down at 9:45 after bidding up retail. So let's see what happens. Okay, there's 40% on Meta calls. Wow, max conviction. I don't know if I want to chase it. I really don't want to buy the top. Made that mistake before. Don't like it. And of course, Tesla's going to run because why wouldn't it? But not chasing that. Oh, good thing we didn't chase it because they're back down. Yeah, Rocket Lab actually might run 100% on those calls. And there you go. Now we're getting some puts loading. That's nice. That's cool. I like to see that. Wow, Intel's coming back. Was not expecting it. Cool. What the hell's Google doing? Google's got like the virus. Oh, no, it's holding. Okay, cool. I'll just hold these in. See, good thing we didn't get those SPX calls because they be red as hell. We got them at 480 and now they're 350. Oh, cool. Look at that. A chop algo has started. Boom. I kind of like it at 3. If I can get it at 3, I'm going to get a couple at 3, but I'm going to wait. What are they buying on tickers? Google calls coming in. Yep. Amazon calls coming in. Silver calls coming in. NVIDIA calls are coming in. Tesla calls are coming in. A lot of NVIDIA calls. Huh. NVIDIA. Rejected. Fucking A. Double top. Right here. Okay, let's see if it holds. That is a big rejection, though. I don't like that. Wow, this candle's nuts. I really don't want to chase it. I really don't. Q1 730. Oh, look, we're above the level I was saying. Oh, fucking hell. Maybe they do send it. I just got like one of these at 4 if I can get it. And then just do nothing all day on SPX. There goes Micron. Get up 60% on move calls, 1000 C's, 100 to 161 here. If you got filled. Yeah, they're just going to go for it. Cancel. I'm just going to wait for a setup. I don't want to chase it. I really don't. If I got the 810s, maybe I'll just get one because I don't know what's going to happen to this. But I think you're likely reject and come back down, and that's your entry. So let's see what happens there. I'm just going to do one for kicks. Wow, whole week of no price action and they send it on Thursday. Okay, that's cool. That's cool with me. That's fine. That's totally fine. I'm not mad at all. Nothing is killing me on the inside. Nothing at all. Damn it, George. How were you right on that one? How? Our Intel calls are back up 50%. Fuck. Google's really got to get his shit together. They really did full send, huh? That's neat. There's nothing inside killing me at all. Nothing. Nothing. Didn't even give me an entry. Just straight up pumped. Okay, well, fuck you too, Moo. Trinity rolls. Yeah, they're just going to pump it. Intel calls are up 60%. If you took those, please just take the win. Micron calls, I did say, will come back. So there you go. Yeah, the volume's actually nuts today. Oh, actually, no, it's not. It's 3 million shares. Nothing. It's nothing. This is okay. This is insane. Yeah, slowly buying puts. Slowly buying puts. Slowly buying puts. They might just full send, honestly. I don't know. We still got room on SPX though, but I'm going to watch for an entry and not chasing it here. All right, Intel's up 170. I don't know what else to do. Google's going green. SPX, I'm just going to wait for another entry. Amazon might be dead, but made money on that one at least. Micron is green. If you got filled, I did. which is kind of cool. But I've been in them for a couple of days at this point in time, so we'll see where this ends up. Meta's green. Oh, Micron's actually really green. What the fuck? Come on, full send, full send. Wrong channel. Yeah, they're gonna full send it. Okay. If I see a setup, I'll post, but I'm not chasing anything here. So I will see you all later. I'm just gonna hang on to these Micron calls. I still got a couple. I got 4 left. I'll show you what I got. Come on down. No, fuck off. I don't want your pesky shit. There you go. It's up 50%. 1,000 calls. You can see it. I've got 4 of those. Yeah, we'll just leave it there. And I'll see if we get another setup later. Take it easy.